My mom got them for me for Christmas. They even have an extra hidden pocket up here to put like your keys in and stuff. I love pockets. Oh, well, at least we're not repeating. I mean, my legs might fall off because we're walking so fast, but at least we're not repeating. I want to talk about how diet culture and mainstream popularity of diets like keto and Atkins and low carb and carnivore and all of that kept me fat for 30 plus years. Take my hand and we will conquer the world. Good morning, baby. You go outside? Oh, it's cold out there. Hi, baby. Hi, boogie. Okay. Thank you. Glad Nana got us these long pants. Well, she got me the pants. I'm not sharing them with you. But I meant, no, we're not going outside. You felt how cold it was out there. That's not. I love you so much. Yep. Mama's doing a class inside because it's too cold out there. It is currently about 15 degrees outside in Central Texas. There's no way that I'm walking outside, but it has been entirely too long since I got back to my movement. Yeah, it's a good way to say it. Still not 100% from being sick last week, but I know that it's important for me to get some movement in. So I'm just gonna do some kind of step thing on YouTube just to get some movement in. I know that doesn't help my dog, but he's gonna be okay. Oh my gosh, I love these pants so much, they're pockets. Sorry, I've been eyeballing these pants on Amazon for months, and my mom got them for me for Christmas. And I thought for sure they weren't gonna fit because they were a 1X, and they're actually a little roomy. They even have an extra hidden pocket up here to put like your keys in and stuff. I love pockets. Okay, I'm gonna start doing things. Where's my remote? Oh no, I took it with me somewhere. Aw, poop. Well, that's not gonna take forever to find or anything. Helios, what did Mama do? Did I bring it in here?
A few moments later.
Oh my gosh. Guess where it was? Last place I looked. Shout out to my friend Kimberly Whisk for that gem. Okay, YouTube. Find me something that will distract me from the fact that I'm not asleep. Yeah, sure. 2,000 steps is good. That's about what I usually get on my long walk. We're gonna get fit with Rick. Oh, why must it be so fast? Oh, well, at least we're not repeating. I mean, my legs might fall off because we're walking so fast, but at least we're not repeating. I'm doing it wrong. It's fine. It's fine. I'm doing it wrong. It's okay. I don't know what I'm doing. This dumb thing. Ah, why? This guy has entirely too much energy. I'm not about it. Why are my hips sore already? Oh, does it? Does my energy start picking up a little bit? You and I have very different reactions to this. But I'm gonna watch this back. I'm gonna be like, I was going so fast, and it's not gonna be fast. Yeah, I'm not doing this as fast as you, dude. It's not happening. Oh, why? Oh, right here, it's just on fire. Ow. Oh, my arms are slapping. Done. He is way too happy about that. I'm not. We need some breakfast.
And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but...
Good morning. If you're new here, my name is Mindy, and I have lost almost 120 pounds on Wegovy Mounjaro semaglutide compound, and I'm now back on Wegovy again. And if you are new here, I'm going to apologize in advance because this video may get a little ranty. I've been getting a lot of comments lately about how unhealthy my diet is and how I really need to learn to eat clean and learn to cook and all of those things. And I just want to talk about that a little bit. I want to talk about how diet culture and mainstream popularity of diets like keto and Atkins and low carb and carnivore and all of that kept me fat for 30 plus years. It took until I started this journey in October of 2021 to adapt a motto, if you will, that I have on this channel, which is progress, not perfection. Healthy looks very different for a lot of people. No matter what, 365 pounds is not healthy. That's where I was when I started this journey. And I was eating out all the time, eating fried fast food all the time. Do I still eat those things sometimes? Yes, absolutely, I do, in moderation. I cook the majority of my meals at home now. Are they all chicken breast, brown rice, and broccoli? Absolutely not, because, sorry, that's gross. And that's not sustainable for me. I also don't eat low carb because guess what? Our bodies needs carbs to survive. Our brain runs on glucose and our muscles run on glycogen, and all of those things come from carbohydrates. So the keto people love to tell you about ketosis and teaching your body to run on fat instead of carbohydrates. And sure, that's a thing that happens after you make your body do things that it's not designed to do. And then it dehydrates all of your cells because glycogen is it holds on to water. Okay, so that's where the keto flu comes from if you don't know. Basically, because you're depleting your body of all of its glycogen stores, all of the water molecules that are held onto that glycogen also go out with it. So that's why when you start a keto diet, you lose 15 pounds immediately because it's water weight. Anyway, so yes, those things make your body lose weight very quickly. And some people call that success. And then in a few months, when they decide that they would really like to have some carbohydrates and they go on a binge on all the bad food that they haven't been allowing themselves to eat. And when I say they, I mean me. Like this is my story, my life. And then you binge on all of those things and immediately regain 20 pounds because of all the water that comes with ingesting all of that glycogen that you've been depriving your body of. And then you get discouraged and you're like, well, screw it. I'm not going to go the rest of my life without eating a cookie. So why try? Why bother? I'm just going to be fat for the rest of my life. And that was the cycle I found myself in for, I don't know, my entire adult life. It never sunk in that I could just, I don't know, count calories, add activity, and just enjoy the things that I like to enjoy in moderation and eat mostly healthy food most of the time. And it's good enough. Progress, not perfection. Good enough. Those are the things that we prescribe to around here. So if that doesn't jive with your philosophy and you enjoy the line that the mainstream diet world has sold you, that you have to eat clean in order to lose weight, in order to be healthy, in order to do all of those things, the channel is probably not for you, because I'm never going to do that. Because I tried to do that for years and it didn't work for me. This is what has worked for me. And no matter what it is that you think is healthy, being 120 pounds lighter is healthy. That's healthier. Okay? So, I'm going to try not to be so ranty. I really am. But I feel very passionately about this. And I feel like the grocery store walkers and the gurus of the world that are out there telling you that you have to eat a certain way in order to be healthy. I don't think that's sustainable. And I think that the only thing that is going to make you healthy and the only thing that is going to get you to your goals is the thing that you can stick with. So if you have the money time and lack of taste buds to be somebody that will only eat grass-fed and finished organic meat and whole grain, non-GMO, whatever. Good for you, honey. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying that's not me. That's not who I am. I've tried to do that. And it lasts a while until it doesn't. And then the second that I fall off the wagon, I go into a shame spiral, and then I binge. And then I just give up because I destroyed all the progress that I made. And that doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. So if you are also on that train, and that is what your life has looked like up to now, welcome home. You are in good company here. I see you, I appreciate you, and I understand you. And we try to do things differently around here. We try to prescribe to a moderation mindset. We try to do the best we can. And we don't beat ourselves up when we screw up. At least we try not to. And we do what we can. We do our best. So if you've never tried that before, like you've always tried to be the perfect eater and the perfect cooker and the perfect diet, and you've tried to prescribe to all of that, and you've always been told that you had to eat a certain way in order to lose weight, and it's never worked for you, then stick around. We'll see what we can do together. For breakfast today, I am having my tried and true breakfast. It has gone through various iterations throughout my weight loss journey. I have added to it. I didn't always used to have the yogurt, but since I've discovered how important protein is with weight loss and muscle recovery, I have really concentrated. That's like the one thing that I really focus on trying to make sure that I get plenty of is protein. I try to focus on getting about 30% of my calories from protein. So for me, that means eating anywhere from 130 to 150 grams of protein a day. The most consistent thing that I hear is eating a half a gram of protein per pound of goal weight. Something like that. The problem with that for me, and I have no idea what a healthy goal weight is for me. I've been overweight my entire adult life. I think the only time that I was ever a healthy weight was when I was a teenager. My mom started working for a naturopath, and I dropped 65 pounds between my 7th and 8th grade year, or maybe it was 6th and 7th grade year, somewhere in there. And I got down to, I want to say about 145 pounds. I mean, I think I was the same height as I am now and all of that, but I seriously doubt that I will get back down that low. And I don't even know that it would necessarily be healthy for me to get back down that low. I've always been, like, I have big bones. Like, when I've gotten x-rays, like, I've actually had x-ray technicians say, whoa, those are some big bones. Like, I know it's a common thing that fat girls like to say, I'm not fat, I'm big-boned. No, I really am big-boned. I mean, I am fat too, but, you know, I'm both. Anyway, in addition to having large bones, I also have a lot of muscle. Like, I put on muscle quite easily, which is good, but, you know, it means that I will never weigh as little as what the charts say that I should weigh, because at 145 pounds, I was so thin that when I laid on my back, you could count my ribs without me sucking in. My hip bones would stick out, and I was still classified as being 10 to 20 pounds overweight. But I had lots of muscle definition. Like, for a teenager, I had a booty. I had thighs. Like, I was piaka with like 2 to 3 C's. And at the time, the only exercise I did was PE, and I used to go roller skating for 6 hours every Friday and Saturday night. That was all I did. I don't know where I was going with this because ADHD and squirrel brain. Welcome to my channel. It's nice to meet you. Anyway, there will probably be many more rants like this today. I just want to warn you ahead of time. I do have to work today, so I'm going to finish eating my breakfast, and get ready for the day and go to work. I'm going to be having the macro-friendly food Mongolian meatballs again for lunch today. I showed you guys those last week. I didn't show you me cooking them because I was real sick last week. Last week was not a good scene. Still not feeling great, by the way, but a million times better than I was last week. I still have a lot of congestion, headaches every day. It's a thing. But anyway. Hi. I'll see you guys later.
You good, buddy? I love you.
When I got home from work on Tuesday, the first thing I knew I needed to do was to prep lunches for the rest of the week. I had leftovers from the previous week for Tuesday's lunch, but I knew that I needed to have lunches for the rest of the week made up for myself. And I didn't have a ton of leftovers like I normally do to last me throughout the week because my sister and brother-in-law were here over the weekend. So I made minimal amounts of food because I didn't want to have a bunch of stuff go to waste. This is a macro-friendly food recipe and it is exclusive to the app. So I can't share the specific recipe with you, but I did find a poppy seed chicken casserole recipe that's similar kind of flavors that I will link down in the description below. If you guys haven't heard me talk about macro-friendly food before, it is a high protein, low calorie, macro-friendly recipe subscription service. There's new recipes every month. There's over 800 high protein, low calorie recipes on that site. She specializes in kind of taking higher calorie, more comfort foodie dishes and converting them into something that's a bit more diet friendly. And it just makes this way of life increasingly more sustainable for somebody like me who is a foodie and really enjoys different types of cuisines and different types of foods. And it takes those and it makes them fit into my goals. Now, I can already hear the peanut gallery screaming about this recipe because it has processed ingredients. Here's the thing, you guys. You can't avoid processed ingredients. Unless you are somebody, and even if you are somebody that is growing your own ingredients, most things you have to process in order for them to be fit for human consumption. So this recipe is very comfort foodie. It's chicken in a creamy sauce with veggies, and it's topped with some herb stuffing, Pepperidge Farm herb stuffing. And it was absolutely delicious. I didn't get a video of me trying it because I'm eating it at work in the break room with a bunch of other people, but it was very creamy, very flavorful, extremely satiating and satisfying. I did double the amount of stuffing that went on top because I'm in a maintenance phase and I needed the extra calories. So again, I mean, it was a lot more stuffing than the recipe actually calls for, and I think I would probably like it better with less stuffing. It was a little bit overwhelming, but it was still delicious. Anyway, you absolutely can eat food like this and still lose weight. I still lost weight today when I woke up this morning, even though I had stuffing for lunch yesterday. Dinner was delicious. I made another macro-friendly food recipe. I had very limited time for meal planning last week, and that's when macro-friendly food comes in clutch for me. If you guys are interested in checking it out, I always have a link down in the description with a 10% off discount code. I know I talk about the app, and that's because it saves my life every single week. I don't know that I would have been able to put together a meal plan without it this last week because I just didn't have any time. I worked way more hours than I normally do last week, and I had a shorter week because my sister and brother-in-law got here on Thursday. So I just didn't have a lot of time to dedicate to something like that. So unless I want to give up sleep, having a tool like macro-friendly food comes in clutch for me because I know the recipes are going to be delicious. I know they're going to be high protein, and I know they're going to be quick and easy. This was a Mexican street corn chicken enchilada, and I love those types of flavors. Cotija, corn, cilantro, cheese, creamy goodness, all of those things sounded delicious to me. This was extremely quick to throw together. And again, I can hear the peanut gallery now. You shouldn't be eating cheese. You shouldn't be eating creamy sauces. Dairy is bad for you. Don't eat corn tortillas. They're processed. It's like, corn tortillas are like one of the healthiest carb sources. Even if you were to grow your own corn and make your own corn tortillas from scratch, guess what? Those are still processed. It's processed. Look up the definition of the word processed. And you know what, Becky? So is that greens powder that you're selling and getting commission on. Not that there's anything wrong with greens powder, but I'm just saying it's still processed. The absolute hypocritical nature of the diet industry and all of these people telling you which foods are okay and which foods are not okay, it gets under my skin. Please hold my dog once inside. One thing I know about myself is that I have to plan for a sweet treat at the end of the night. Now, I don't always have it. There are many nights where I'm too full or I'm just not feeling it or whatever, but I always meal plan for some sort of sweet treat. It's usually something that's really quick and easy to throw together, or it's something that I meal prep at the beginning of the week to make sure that I can just grab it, warm it up, throw it in my face, and then I'm done. This week, I found a protein mug cake. I don't always love mug cakes. It's been kind of like a endless search for a mug cake that's not weird textured and spongy or just doesn't taste good or whatever. But this week I decided to try a cheat day design recipe. I've shared a lot of his recipes before and I really, really like his recipes. And this one uses cake mix. So I was like, well, surely then it'll have a flavor profile. Surely it'll have a flavor profile and texture that I will like better than some of the other ones that are almost all protein powder based or have weird ingredients in them. And it was really quick and easy to throw together. It's just a little bit of cake mix, some protein powder. I almost always use PE Science protein powder when I'm doing baking recipes. It's a whey casein blend. And I just find that it has not only the best flavor, but the best texture. Unless a recipe specifically calls for whey protein, I will use those. But I mostly use Cheat Day Designs recipes for baking, and he always uses PE Science anyways. And then it's just a little bit of milk, and you stir those together, throw them in a mug, or I used a ramekin. He recommended a wider, more shallow mug for this cake, and I have like these little ramekins. I'll link them down in the description if you want to see the size that I have. You throw it in the microwave for 60 seconds, and then I mixed up the protein frosting, which was just a little bit of protein powder. He called for the sugar-free, like the powdered Splenda. I don't like the way that stuff tastes, and honestly, there's so few calories in the amount of powdered sugar he used. I just used real powdered sugar. So protein powder, powdered sugar, a little bit of cocoa powder, and some milk, and you mix it together until it's kind of a runny frosting consistency. And then once your mug cake is done cooking for 60 seconds in the microwave, you pour the frosting on top, and this is what I thought of it. Mug cake time. There's a lot of frosting. Probably an excessive amount of frosting, but let's see how this tastes. I don't think Cheat Day Design has let me down yet, and this is no exception. It's really good. I think today I didn't have room for it, but tomorrow I'll probably whip up like a half batch of vanilla protein creamy ice cream and put it on top, and I think it'll be really good. I don't even know that I'll need the frosting, but a lot of the time these mug cakes can get really rubbery and dry, and they don't taste like much, but I gotta say, this one's pretty good. Super easy. With an easy chocolatey treat for the end of your night. So yes, you can lose weight eating cake. I know that this video has been a little ranty, and there's a reason for that. Like, it makes me angry that there's all of these people out there who feel entitled to tell you how you should eat, how you should approach your health and wellness journey. And it's just not okay. Ultimately, the only diet that's going to work, the only one that's going to work, is one that you will stick with. Sustainability and consistency is 100% the key to losing weight, to getting healthy, to putting on muscle, to doing all of the things that you need to do in order to meet your health goals. I have lost weight a million different ways in my adult life. I've done keto, I've done low carb, I've done HCG, I've done all of those things, and I lost weight real fast. But they didn't work because they weren't sustainable. I couldn't live that way the rest of my life. Helios, leave it. I love you. Leave it alone. So the key to losing weight and keeping it off is finding a way to eat that you can maintain for the rest of your life. Because telling yourself that you're just going to eat this way to lose the weight and then find a way to maintain that's different. If you haven't had the practice of eating that way to get to your goal weight, how on earth are you going to expect yourself to eat in a way that's healthy that you can maintain for the rest of your life if you're just trying it for the first time? This entire journey, it's been over 2 years now, has been a process of me learning what works for me, what doesn't work for me. It's been a process of training my metabolism, bringing it back to some semblance of health after the marathon dieting sessions that I've had for the last 30 some odd years. I feel like I've learned so much about myself, about what I need to do to make my diet sustainable, about what my pitfalls are, about the things I need to avoid, about giving myself grace, about not expecting overnight results. And I think that that's even more valuable than the weight loss itself, even though obviously losing close to 120 pounds has made a massive difference in my health and the way I feel. That pales in comparison to the knowledge that I've gained in terms of learning how I'm going to need to live the rest of my life in order to maintain this weight loss. And I think that's the battle that we're all fighting. Losing weight's the easy part. It's the 50 years after that we're going to have to fight for. And I think that was the biggest mindset change and shift that happened this time around when I started Wegovy, was that I stopped thinking about what I needed to do in the short term to lose the weight, and I started thinking about what the rest of my life was going to look like and what I could handle doing for the rest of my life, and just letting the weight loss take as long as it takes. Sorry, I'm sure that this has gotten very preachy and I don't know how much of it's going to make it through the edit, but I just feel very passionately about how much damage the diet industry has done to people, and just this mindset, especially with like a perfectionist like me, the mindset that it encourages that you have to do everything right all the time, and if you didn't, then you just screwed up and you're just a worthless excuse of a human being. It's not true. And I would love it if you could learn to adapt the mindset that I have, which is progress, not perfection. Sometimes good enough is good enough. And be kind to yourself. Yeah. I'll see you guys on Friday.